Hello beautiful faces, thanks for stopping by, whether you are new or returning. Today's video is time for the August reading wrap up, so talking about all of the wonderful books that I read in August. Now this was probably the worst reading month of the year. We only actually managed to read 2 books and then we tried to read a third and we ended up DNFing that one, so I'll get to all of that. So both of the books that I read this month were romance. One was a regular romance, one was a dark romance, and then the one that I DNF'd was like a taboo-y, mainly regular romance with some taboo elements in it. And yet we are just gonna get right into it. I'll quickly mention the book that I DNF'd just because I don't love to chat about the books that I disliked. I just try to be predominantly like 95% a positive channel, but I am just going to mention it just quickly. The book that I did DNF is 5 Brothers by Penelope Douglas. So this is my second ever Penelope Douglas book because I read Birthday Girl last year and like that one was like, it was pretty decent. I gave it a 3-star. It didn't blow me out of the water, but I didn't dislike it either. I liked it, gave it 3 stars. It was fun. And so I'd been wanting to try another Penny D book and this was the one that I picked, 5 Brothers. It wasn't for me. Now, I actually got a good decent amount of weight, because usually how I DNF books is I can kind of DNF within the first 5 chapters. I know whether I'm going to enjoy a book or not within the first 5 chapters. And for some reason, when it came to 5 Brothers, I thought, let's just give it a little more. Let's just, you know, maybe you'll really enjoy the brother dynamic, all this other stuff. So I actually managed to get about halfway. But then I just got so annoyed. Oh, I got so annoyed. And I wasn't even liking the brother dynamic because the brothers don't even really like each other that much. I don't know. I just don't think that this book is for me. And it just got to the point where I didn't even care how it ended. Because I thought maybe I'd pause and come back to it. But the more I sat on it, the more I was like, no, I don't care how it ends. So unfortunately we have DNF'd that book. And yeah, who knows when I'll pick up Penny D again, who knows. I did just get all of the Devil Knight series for free on my Kindle because today is like a special, you can get Penny D for free day sort of thing. This will not be going up on that exact day, so when this does get uploaded, no, that free day will not be free anymore. But I did manage to get all the Devil's Night, so that's probably going to be the next Penny D I try. A lot of people say that, you know, you really should. If you want to get into Penny D, it's good to read the Devil's Night series. So I don't know when, but I do have them, so eventually I will read that series. But that was the kind of first book I tried this month. I think this month I just started feeling like slumpy and a bit like, I don't know, I didn't want to read. Like I was just like, I don't know, the act of picking up a book and reading, and I was just like, I don't want to. I don't know why, but I was feeling very like, I don't feel like reading right now this month, which is why we only really got through 2 books. I don't know why. I'm hoping I pick up a book soon that just, you know, makes me get back into it. But yeah, this month was quite a short month and we only read 2 full books just because, yeah, I was feeling very like, reading. I don't know why, because I do love it, but the first book we did manage to finish was Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. I'm surprised I picked a really thick one, considering this month. Granted, I went into this not knowing how I was going to feel this month. So this is a hockey sports romance. This is the 3rd book in the Jacksonville Rays series. So this is Poppy's story, you know, in the whole Jacksonville Rays world, if you know about the world. I love it. This is one of my all-time favourite sports romance series, besides the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. That's like my other all-time fave. I think this series and that series takes top spot as being like my 2 favourite sports romance series. This is my least favourite of that series though. This one I'm only giving it, I think I gave it like a 3.5 star or something like that, like a 3 to a 3.5 star. Like I liked it, but in comparison to the other 2, it is my least favourite. I just like the other 2 better. I don't know, like Emily Rath is great at writing relationship dynamics because this is one of the cutest, most adorable relationships ever. But it just had some tropes I didn't love. Also, it did weirdly feel like it was dragging on and that it was a bit long, which is hilarious because the first 2 books in this series are even longer and I didn't feel that way. Pucking Around, which is the first book, one of my favourite books of all time, is one of the thickest books I have ever read, and I wished it was longer. And then you got Pucking Wild, which is the second book, not one of my favourite books of all time, and I didn't necessarily wish it was longer, but I didn't think that it was too long. I thought it was appropriately sized. But for some reason, I think this one could have shaved off a little bit, and you could have been a little shorter. I don't know why I felt that way. I was getting a bit, is it over yet? But then I also wonder if it's just because I'm feeling slumpy. Like maybe if I wasn't really feeling that slumpy, I would think that this is also appropriately sized. I don't know. In my mind, I just think, yep, like a good 50 pages could have been shaved off of this. I just thought it was too long. I still enjoyed myself. A 3 to 3.5, that's a pretty good solid rating. Yes, I will continue this series. I will always continue this series. I love this series. Pucking Strong has already come out, which is the 4th book in this series, and I'm hoping to read that. Honestly, this September, I'm hoping to read that to be caught up with this series and then just wait for the 5th one, because there is a 5th one coming. But yeah, that's how I felt about this one. It wasn't my favourite, but I still really enjoyed myself. If you love a good sports romance, if you love a little bit of why choose, because this is like one girl getting with two guys, you know, the spice was good, it was fun. Definitely check this one out. Now, the only other book that I read this month, I read it on the good old Kindle. Now, we need to talk about this, because this is actually one of the most exciting things I have ever mentioned on this channel, people. I got my first ARC. My first ARC. That is what we read on the Kindle. I'm not really going to show you, because I don't know if I can get in trouble, or I don't fully know. I know you're not supposed to share, the book itself, of course. But basically, there is a book. It's called Hateful Vows. It is by C J Lucci. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I'm so sorry if I have not. She writes dark mafia romance books, and Hateful Vows is her latest book coming out in September. And I signed up to receive an ARC because I thought, why not? I'd never received an ARC before. I think it could be fun, to receive an ARC and read it. And, all they require in return is for you to write a review. You don't have to pay or anything like that. All they ask for is a review. And so I was like, yep, why not? Let's do it. Yeah, probably not going to get picked, whatever. I signed up for the ARC. And I got it. I was not expecting in the slightest to be picked, because I have signed up for a second ARC, but unfortunately I was not picked for that one. So, because this is the thing, just because you sign up for an ARC, it doesn't mean that you'll be picked. They select the ones that they want. So I was selected for this one. And it was very, very exciting. I love me a good dark mafia romance. Hello. And this one is the Russians and the Italians coming together. Kind of like marriage. It's got a little bit of Marriage of Convenience in there. Oh, so good. So good. The spice is top tier. Oh, so good. I would say that this is intermediate level in comparison to other mafias that I've read. So take this ARC book and then take, say, the Sons of Valentino series by Kylie Kent, which I read the first 2 books of that series in July. They are definitely beginner-friendly mafias. I spoke about this in the July reading wrap-up. They are beginner-friendly mafias. I think they're easy, they're fun. Whereas this book, I would say, is more intermediate. I would not say that this is beginner-friendly, but I also wouldn't say that it's it's not the worst thing I've ever read. So I would say that this one on the Mafia scale is probably intermediate. I would read Sons of Valentino first if you were somebody that just wanted to dip their toes in. But then if you wanted something a little more intermediate, I definitely recommend picking Hateful Vows up, because it was an absolutely amazing book. 5 stars, CJ. 5 stars. It was a great book. I absolutely loved it. Oh my god, it was an amazing book. Such a wild ride. A lot of things happened that I was not expecting. And yes, it was a little, darker than I was expecting, but it's so good. So good. If you love a good mafia romance and you're looking for somebody to get into that is, different, maybe a little more underrated, because I'd never heard of C J Lucci before until because you're probably wondering how I even found out. So this C J Lucci lady just came up on my Instagram as a you know, like, you know, your For You page or whatever. She kind of just came up. The ARC thing was kind of like the first post of hers that I saw. It just came up on my For You page, and she had a bit of a blurb about the book, you know, what the book was about, and I was like, oh, well, that sounds awesome. I'm signing up for this, of course. It sounded awesome, and it is awesome. It's a great book. I personally gave it 5 stars. I love the book, and if she makes more books in this series, that's great. I've been told this is kind of like a standalone. It is a part of her Mafia world, but you don't need to read the rest of the Mafia world if you don't want to. Like, if you only want to read Hateful Vows, that's totally fine. I would love to check out some of the other books in her Mafia world because I loved Hateful Vows so much. Like, I will be reading more C J Lucci in the future, but this is a standalone, so feel free to just read that. And then I love it. It's a great book. 5 stars. I definitely had a fun time. Did take me a little while to read it because, like I mentioned, I was feeling a bit like, ugh, reading this month. What's that? I don't know why. I have not felt this way since I started my reading journey in 2023. Have not felt this way. Like, you know, it's a chore to pick up a book right now or whatever. Even though I had fun with the books that I was reading this month. I mean, hello, I gave one 5 stars this month. I don't know. Who knows? I'm hoping that this will get fixed and I will just be reading my normal usual, because usually I can get like 4 or 5. That's like my average in a month is like 4 or 5, depending, especially if I pick like thinner books. If I'm reading all books that are about as thick as Pucking Sweet, like, I'm lucky to have 3. But if I pick thinner books, I can have like 4 or 5 if they're thinner. So hopefully we get back to that, you know, next month, hopefully. But that was all the books that I read this month. It is going to be a bit of a shorter video. Usually my wrap-ups go for like 20 minutes because I have a lot of books that I want to talk about. But we only read 2 and then we DNF'd 1. So I don't have a ton of books to talk about this month. Very, very short reading month. But that is really it. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider giving a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you love books just as much as I do. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you all next time. Bye.